Do you want to know more about Brazilian culture? Today's video is talking about Brazil and your diversity. We start with the great Brazilian passion, football. Here we have extremely disputed regional championships and several national level competitions that strongly move the country economy. Brazilians learn to like football from an early age, mainly due to the influence of people around them. A great example of Brazilian football was Edson Arantes do Nascimento, better known as Pelé, described that the king of football, he is widely regarded as the greatest athlete of all the time. Another aspect that is the face of Brazil is the food, which is rich, taste, and diversity. Each of Brazilian states has its typical dishes prepared according to ancient traditions, which are transmitted to each generation. Brazilian cuisine is based on the miscegenation. It's the gastronomy result for the mix of cultural knowledge and ingredients of different people. The meaning of food goes beyond the simple act of eating and passes to a sacred moment of exchange between friends and family. Among them, the dishes that say the most about Brazil are moqueca, coxinha, feijoada, açaí, brigadeiro, pão de queijo e tapioca.
Oi, tudo bem? Eu sou Luciana, da Street Smart Brasil.
Eu sou Betânia.
Eu sou Vanessa.
Today the whole team got together to give you a treat. I've been getting lots of inquiries about Brazilian desserts, which are delicious. In fact, a few days ago I published a blog post on Brazilian desserts. Today we're going to show you how to cook brigadeiro, which is a chocolate candy very popular in Brazil, and everyone who tries it loves it. So a professora Betânia has volunteered to cook brigadeiro for us and show you how to do it. A professora Vanessa has volunteered her beautiful kitchen. And Carl, our director of technology and design, he's behind the camera waiting for us to be done so he can eat the brigadeiros with us. And we wanted to thank you Mercado Brasil. It's a Brazilian store in the Mission here in San Francisco, and they donated all the ingredients for our video today. So if you guys are ready, I'm gonna let the chef run the show today.
Oi, tudo bom? Eu sou Betânia from Street Smart Brazil, and I'm here today to teach you how to make some brigadeiros. And brigadeiro, it's a chocolate candy that is very popular in Brazil, and usually it's made for birthday parties. Brazil, as you know, it's a big country, and we have many cultures, dances, music, and cuisines, but one interesting thing is brigadeiro is one of the few recipes that has been remained the same in the entire country, from north to south, from Oiapoque to Chuí, as you say in Brazil. Here are the ingredients you're going to use to make brigadeiro. We have condensed milk, which in Brazil is called leite moça. We have 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, chocolate sprinkles, and mini baking cups. All these items can be found at Mercado do Brasil on Valencia Street, San Francisco. And here are 2 useful tools that you're gonna need to make brigadeiro. The first one is a wooden spoon, and you can see mine's a little old, but it's made a lot of brigadeiros on its time. The second thing is a non-stick pot, which is very helpful so you won't burn your brigadeiros. First thing, we're going to open the can of condensed milk, or leite moça. So we're going to turn the stove on a medium-low temperature. And we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter, and again, it's unsalted butter. I'm going to eyeball it here. Ou vamos usar o olhômetro, how you say in Portuguese. So while the butter melts on the pot, I'm going to show you a personal little trick of mine. By using cocoa powder, usually it doesn't dissolve well on the condensed milk. So I'm going to add a little bit of water, and then I'm going to use a spoon to dissolve the cocoa powder. And you're just gonna keep on stirring and add more water if necessary. So just make sure that it's really smooth and doesn't have any lumps when you put in your brigadeiro like that. So your butter now, it's all melted. You're going to use an entire can of condensed milk. And again, the heat, it's a low medium heat. And you're gonna stir. And you're gonna add the chocolate into the condensed milk. And you see, since we dissolved the cocoa powder with water, you're just gonna blend very smoothly. You're gonna use all of the goodness. And that's how we do when you finish
While
the
you're
can.
waiting.
While you're waiting. One thing that is very important to mention is that once you start stirring the brigadeiro, you cannot leave the pot alone. You cannot stop stirring, otherwise it will burn. And you have to be like a good brigadier and just commit to the pot and just do your duty and keep on stirring for at least 20 minutes. It's helpful to have friends around to help do the stirring.
Like Betania said, you have to stir this thing. And you make sure you get it from the corners so it doesn't stick to the sides.
Even if you have some non-Brazilian friends with you, you can recruit them to do some stirring.
And by the way, do you know the history of the name Brigadeiro? Okay, I read somewhere it comes from the Brigadeiro Eduardo Gomes, the Brigadier Eduardo Gomes. He ran for a presidency of his political party in the 40s, 1940s, and his wife used to cook the candy for the fundraising parties. And then after a little while, everyone starts to go to the parties, to the fundraising parties, and asks, where is the brigadeiro candy? Cadê o doce do brigadeiro? Like we say in Portuguese. And then after a while, the name became Brigadeiro.
Oh, by the way, do you know the difference between these two pictures? This is the perfect brigadeiro, and this is the brigadeiro that it didn't go quite well. So the difference is, when you stir the brigadeiro, the water from the condensed milk evaporates, so it becomes firmer. If you take the brigadeiro out of the pot too soon, by the time you're rolling them, they're gonna be kind of mushy, kind of like that one. However, if you're patient enough and keep on stirring, have your friends around to help you, and by the time they roll in the brigadeiro, it's gonna be a perfect little ball, and it's gonna stick out just like the picture right there.
And it smells so good when you're cooking it. It's actually bringing me back to my childhood because my little brother and I, we would just make brigadeiro out of the blue, you know, no party, no celebration. It was just like, how about some brigadeiro? We would cook it and we would eat it out of the pan. It was delicious. You can't resist it.
Okay, so the brigadeiro, it's about ready. And you take a look at the pot. As I am stirring, we ran your spoon across and it separates and takes a while to go back together. Also, if you take the spoon and get a little bit of it, it turns upside down, it's going to take a while to fall off the spoon. So that's when you know that the brigadeiro is ready. Okay, now the brigadeiro is ready, so get your very good friend to help you as we move the brigadeiro from the pot to a plate. And then you're going to wait for about half an hour so the brigadeiro chills, so you can roll the little balls. So we're going to put in the fridge for about half an hour so it chills. Looking good. So now it's ready. It's nice and firm. It's not in front of the plate. And we're going to roll the brigadeiro now. So we want to start by getting the leftover butter and using your fingers and getting a little bit on your hands. So butter your hands so the brigadeiro won't stick, and you want to get all of your fingers. get a small spoon. I know it's getting a little bit messy, and you're gonna scoop a little bit, like the size of a grape, and you're gonna roll this little ball between your hands, like that, and then you wanna roll into the chocolate sprinkle, so you cover all around. Grab a little baking cup and you put your brigadeiro on it, and then you want to put them in the fridge for another 15 minutes so they get nice and chilled, and then you're ready to eat them. So now we are all done with the brigadeiro. 1 can of condensed milk yields about 25 brigadeiros, depends on the size that you make them. Bom apetite!
Eu sou Luciana,
Eu sou Betânia.
Eu sou Vanessa.
da Street Smart Brazil, and that's how we make brigadeiros. Now remember, this is great to share with friends.
Another trademark of Brazil is the strong presence in music and dance. Brazilian dance suffers for the fusion of European, African, and Arabic culture. Dance is an artistic expression considered as a fundamental element of the culture. In Brazil, many had the great promises and became a popular attraction, such as folk dance, for example. Brazilian dance are dated in different periods and are widespread in each region of the country. The best known are samba and frevo. Brazilian music is one of the most important expressions of Brazilian culture, which is the growing influence of African melodic and rhythmic elements. This became to address a characteristic Brazilian sound, mainly through the spread of frevo, choro, and samba, a genre that is the face of Brazil. It's funky, one of the most popular music style in the country, and over the year it's emerged for the Rio favelas, and it was already very popular in the United States, in the union of different styles, and now are very popular among the black population, such as black music, soul, jazz, and R&B. This sound won the heart of all Brazilians and not just them.
Coração do Brasil, em teu seio corre o sangue de heróis sobre veio, e é de sempre o valor traduzir. Eis a fonte da vida e da história desse povo coberto de glória. O primeiro, talvez, do povo. Salve, ó terra dos altos coqueiros, que beleza soberba estendal.
pé e no calcanhar. É no calcanhar, é na ponta do pé com a direita. É na ponta do pé, no calcanhar com a esquerda. Saci pererê com a direita. Saci pererê com a esquerda. Girando, girando, girando no girassol. Ha, 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 ha. É o frevo no pé e a sombrinha no ar. É na ponta do pé, no calcanhar, no calcanhar. Pisando em brasa, porque o chão tá pegando fogo. Na Avenida Guararapes, arrastando o galo da madrugada. Olha a tesoura para cortar todos os mares. É o frevo no pé e a sombrinha no ar. Pernambuco tem uma dança que nenhuma terra tem. Quando a gente entra na dança, não se lembra de ninguém. Frevo! Abrindo rojão, abrindo porque a multidão é grande demais. E temos que abrir e chegar agora, porque o frevo está pegando fogo. É na ponta do pé, no calcanhar, é na ponta do pé. Hey! Balançando o ombro, abrindo alas com o rojão na multidão.
Oi, mexe, mexe, menina, pode mexer sem parar. Você agora é a minha garota do tacacá.
Oi, mexe, mexe, menina, pode mexer sem parar. Você agora é a minha garota do tacacá.
Rala, rala, mandioca, espreme no tipiti. Prepara a tapioca, apara o tucupi. Prepara no tacacá, gostoso como açaí. Prepara no tacacá, gostoso como açaí. Oi, mexe, mexe, menina, pode mexer sem parar. Você agora é a minha garota do tacacá.
Oi, mexe, mexe, menina, pode mexer sem parar. Você agora é a minha garota do tacacá.
Rala, rala, mandioca, espreme no tipiti. Separa. Maria, que dança é essa? Que a gente dança só. Dona Maria, que dança é essa? É carimbó, é carimbó. Dona Maria, que dança é essa? Que a gente dança só. Dona Maria, que dança é essa? É carimbó, é carimbó. Braço pra cima, braço pra baixo. Agora eu já sei como é que é. Só falta bater a mão, batendo também o pé. Só falta bater a mão, batendo também o pé. Dona Maria, que dança é essa? Que a gente dança só. Dona Maria, que dança é essa? É carimbó, é carimbó. Dona Maria, que dança é essa? Que a gente dança só. Dona Maria, que dança é essa? É carimbó, é carimbó.
Sou de casa vim do norte, sou bonito original. Sou de paz, não sou de guerra, vim brincar o carnaval. Quem vem lá? Quem vem lá? Que cortejo é aquele senhor? E aqui vou perguntar quem vem lá. Eu sou misterioso, como és imperial. Sou Mateus, sou Catirina, na bexiga eu sou o tal. Quem vem lá? Quem vem lá? Que cortejo é aquele senhor? E aqui vou perguntar quem vem lá. Sou Capitão Pereira, sou Madeira, sou fiel. Esse boi que chega agora vem de lá dançar no céu. Quem vem lá? Quem vem lá? Que cortejo é aquele senhor? Vindo aqui vou perguntar quem vem lá. E boi maravilhoso, e boi, venha logo se amostrar. E boi misterioso, e boi, chegue logo pra dançar. E boi maravilhoso, e boi, venha logo se amostrar. E boi misterioso, e boi, chegue logo pra dançar. Quem vem lá?
If you haven't fallen in love with Brazil yet, the time is now. Get to know the main tourist attraction here. The main attraction without a double are the beautiful beaches, especially in Northeast. Another point is Cristo Redentor, Rio de Janeiro, the Foz do Iguaçu and Botanic Garden localization in the state of Paraná. In São Paulo, better known as a great cultural city, we have several museums such as the MASP and Ipiranga Museum. Finally, your headquarters are your capital, Brasilia, with the Valley Palace highlighting the National Congress. I hope that connected and feel in love with your country, which is increasingly brings together the main tourists who arrive here.